It's the Fit Lawyer ATL, and we are live in New York City, baby. I had to catch me a flight. So, if you have just now tuned in, I am the Fit Lawyer ATL. I am from Atlanta, Georgia, a 20-year criminal defense attorney here in Atlanta. Well, in Atlanta, but I'm in New York today. And I couldn't keep away. So, I caught a flight, flew to New York City, and I am in town for Diddy's sentencing tomorrow. Shout out to Gil at night. Hey, girl. Thanks for coming in. Y'all, it's been a minute since I've been on YouTube. If you all keep up with anything, I've been working on the YSL appeal for Moontoon. We got that filed a few weeks ago. So now it's in the hands of the Court of Appeals, and I got time to pay attention to something else. And I got my eyes on Diddy. Miss 86 Forbes, how you doing, sis? Hey. I've been missing y'all. All right, y'all, come on in the room. I am in New York. I'm in a hotel, so excuse the lighting. I'm not in my studio, so I got my cell phone here. I got my computer here. Look, we're just gonna make it work. So we are struggle streaming. We are live from New York, y'all. I am 7 minutes from the courthouse. I have already walked down to make sure that I can get there in the morning and that everything's gonna be easy breezy. I paid a line sitter to be in line for me. So somebody's already sitting in line for me. And I will be in the courtroom. I'm so excited. So we're going to talk about some things tonight. So y'all going to tell me kind of what your predictions are, what you're thinking, how much time y'all thinking Diddy going to get. I'm trying to center myself here on the screen. Okay, there we go. So like this AI tracking thing that's following me or something. And I'm like, get centered. All right, so what y'all thinking? I got 5 on it. I don't know what's gonna happen, but I got 5 on it. So y'all coming in. Trakisha says, super happy to see you. Tyler Swanson says, hey sis. Hey, y'all come on in the room. It is in New York City. The sentencing is occurring down the street, y'all. 7 minutes from my hotel at 10 a.m. in the morning. Yeah, Blueberry, I didn't either. Okay. So I hit up an attorney friend of mine who was up here for the trial. And I'm like, girl, I got to come to the sentence and tell me, how can I make sure I'm inside the courtroom? She was like, oh, you're going to need to hire my line sitter. I was like, a line sitter? Yes, a line sitter. Yes, I miss you too, Christine. Hey, come on in the room. So this person, I had hired him to get in line for me at 2 p.m., right? So he texts me when I'm on the plane and tells me at 12:30. Well, actually, I was in the Uber on the way to the airport, and he tells me at 12:30 that he's gotten word that 11 people are already in line. I'm like, oh my gosh, because only the first 17 people get into the courtroom. So I was like, oh my God, get your ass down there, like in so many words, right? So I'm like, okay, trying to be nice about it, right? Because I don't know this person. I'm like, so how far away are you? And he's like, oh, 30 minutes. I'm like, is somebody gonna be in line for you? Like, friend, he gets in, this is before number 17, and he was like, I'm gonna make it right out. I said, okay. So he got down there, he was like, he called me, he said, I'm number 21. I was like, oh, okay, it's cool. I already heard that the overflow room is still pretty cool, so I'll be good. He was like, no, you hired me to get you in the courtroom. I bumped up to number 17. I was like, what? If I had my buzzer, if I was at home, I'd be hitting it. So Fit will be in the courtroom, like in the courtroom. Oh, you know what? I am on my cell phone. I already see right now that people are about to start calling. So let me put this on do not disturb so that I'm not disturbed. Let me try to figure out how to do that with this. Y'all forgive me. Know that I am okay. There we go. Working from a cell phone, so in this hotel room. All right, so anyway, I'm like, all right, so he paid to get me number 17, so I will be inside the courtroom, not in the overflow. I don't get things wrong with the overflow, but y'all know Fit want to be in I want to be in the building. Be in the courtroom with who else from Atlanta is up here. Brian Steele will be in there, and with Nicole Westmoreland, who I cannot wait to see because I heard she had a bomb 30-inch bust down last week for the hearing on the 25th. So I can't wait to see them in the morning. All right, so Riri Carter, shout out member. She says, congrats, thank you so much. Two True says such a pretty room. Yeah, so I'm staying at 50 Bowery. Is the name of the hotel. It's a Hyatt hotel. It is really cute and nice here. And literally, I walk out of my hotel building to the right, down the street, crossover, and the courthouse is right there. So I already walked down there. I already saw the line sitter. I had to put my eyes on my money. So I already checked in with him. So he's in line in his tent for the night. And I have to be online at 6:30 in the morning to trade places with him. Y'all, isn't that crazy? I just couldn't believe it. A line sitter. That's wild to me. So yeah, somebody said, Phil, where you been? Hey, Phil is queer 21. Girl, working on an appeal plus the clients that I had and have gotten from being on YouTube has just kept your girl so busy. So we got the appeal for Moontook filed last month. I don't know if y'all follow me on my other social media, but I went to Spain, had 2 weeks off there. So I come back, I'm rejuvenated. I'm like, I gotta go see Diddy. So I'm back. So hey, look, Chiquita said, Fit been flying on private jets. Okay, sis, we just trying to do a little thing. All right, come on in. Shakia Young says, hey, everyone. So, yes, so I am in New York City. I brought my best friend up here with me, Carmen, to help me because, like, I don't know what it's going to be like tomorrow when I go down to the courthouse. All right, so while I was on the plane, y'all know I was reading some of the documents, some things that's been filed, and we're going to get into it. So, if you're just coming, thank you for joining. Come on in the room. My name is TheFitLawyerATL. I am a 20-year criminal defense attorney in Atlanta, Georgia. And I got my YouTube channel October 28th. If y'all believe it, it's almost been a year when the lead attorney gave me the TLA effect because I was being nosy, going down to the Fulton County Courthouse, peeping into seeing what was going on during the Young Thug trial, when the first plea happened. Y'all remember that, right? It's almost a year, and I'm being nosy now up here in New York to see what's going on with Diddy. All right, so sentencing hearing, it starts tomorrow at 10 a.m. 4 of his attorneys will be speaking. So they've already filed a motion with the judge to request the opportunity to speak. I don't know what 4 will be speaking, but I gotta bet Brian Steele's gonna be one of them. What y'all think? What y'all think? So I'm pretty sure Brian Steele's gonna be one of the attorneys that speaks tomorrow, but 4 of his attorneys will make pleas to the court. Diddy himself will speak, although he's also filed a 4-page letter. We're gonna get into that. He filed a letter today to the judge. Who else? I'm sure. Oh, there's also a 15-minute video that they had to get over to the government today by 5 p.m. So I don't know what's gonna be on this video. I don't know if it's gonna be. I mean, clearly Diddy's been in custody, right? So the video has to be maybe some old footage of like family events or showing him with the kids or something. Who knows? I don't know, but that's also gonna be played tomorrow. And the judge has also ruled that Mia, who was an employee of Bad Boy that testified during the trial, and Mia isn't her real name, it's her fake name, and she uses a fake voice and all of that stuff. Anyway, so she is going to be testifying for 5 minutes. She has a 5-minute speech she's going to make, and she is speaking as to why the judge, I guess, should give Diddy time. Because y'all know the government asking for 11 years. Isn't that ridiculous? What y'all think about that? All right. Yeah, GB, yes, the lead attorney. Shout out to the lead. I talked to him, so he knows Fit is up here. Sends his well wishes. I love it. Two True says, what you think, Fit? Will Diddy get out tomorrow? No. Although I did bring my all white outfit just in case. Okay, just in case he does, I got my all white outfit because just in case it's gonna be a party tomorrow night. I'm gonna be in the building. But no, I got 5 on it. My bet is that it's gonna be 5 years. That's what I'm thinking. All right. So if you tuned in, Diddy went to trial. He had charges of like RICO, sex trafficking, kidnapping, but the jury found him not guilty on those, and he was only found guilty of 2 counts of the Mann Act. All right, and the Mann Act is something that came around in 1910. I heard it was something about they were trying to get a baseball player that liked to sleep with white women or something. Anyway, that's why the act came about. And so, anyway, the Mann Act basically makes it illegal for you to transport. It says whoever knowingly transports any individual in interstate or foreign commerce or in any territory or possession of the United States with the intent that such individual engage in prostitution or in any sexual activity for which one person can be charged with an offense. So that is what he got convicted of. He got found not guilty of everything else, but he got found guilty of transporting people for sex. Okay, so there were 6 prostitutes, male escorts, prostitutes, whatever, Johns, not even Johns, they prostitutes, but whatever you want to call them, that were a part of this case. And so he would fly them out to have sex with Cassie, because remember what came out of the trial was that Diddy never actually participated in the sex act. He would watch, and then they would come over after and rub semen on his body, whatever. But anyway, he never actually participated. So that is what he got convicted of. So we're trying to see what the judge is going to sentence him to. So what are y'all thinking? Drop in the chat. Some people think he's coming home. That is exactly what his defense team is arguing. They are asking for 14 months. They are asking that the judge sentence him to 14 months, give him credit for time served. If you're not aware, last Thursday, the 25th, was a year. So that's 12 months. So he just has 2 more months to do if they go with what the defense is asking. Well, the government is asking for 11 years. Oh, I need my buzzer. Like 11 years? Isn't that wild? That is wild. So I'm thinking he got 5 on it. I got 5 on it. I'm thinking 5. That's my guess. Shanika Young says, yep, I think he would get 5 years or more. Shakisha, she thinks 5 to 7. Next chapter says, yeah, all I'm thinking is gross, right? That was very nasty. That was very nasty. So Miss Scorp says, I hope it's the 11 years. Too True says 11 years. That's crazy. Who else? Uh Keisha, yep, we got 45. Y'all hit the like button as you come in. Hit the like button as you're coming in. Too True says 5 years is too much. It might be. It might be. But you got convictions for charges, and so therefore there will be a sentencing. And see, this is what happens when you, and so Diddy, he didn't have a choice, right? He had to go to trial because there wasn't a plea offer that he was given prior to trial that he could take. However, with some people, right, you get a plea offer, say you might be offered probation, right? Or you may be offered 2 years and you go to trial. Well, guess what happens when you take a plea? When you take a plea, the judge doesn't hear everything. It's just a small presentation of fact, and that's it. But when you go to a trial, the judge hears everything. So Diddy's judge has heard that he drugged and beat Cassie. He's seen the video where he drug her down the hallway at the hotel. He's heard about Jane, though, and how he was beating her. And then, if you all recall, Diddy got arrested, September? I believe there was an incident with Jane like June of the summer that he got arrested, and he had like a freak off plans a few weeks or something after he got arrested. Like, so the judge hears all of that. He hears that even though you knew you were under investigation, even though you knew that your home was raided and that they took videos and stuff, that you still were out here doing the thing. So the judge knows all of that. So that comes into play when he's thinking about how he's going to sentence you, because you got convicted of a crime. So as a judge, you have to do something. So he can't just act like, oh, okay, well, he's been in for this long. Like, he has to do something. What's the punishment? But at the same time, his attorneys are doing a very good job of mitigation, y'all. I'm not gonna lie. I was reading some of those letters on the plane, and I mean, he's doing everything that you can do in a case to help yourself out. I mean, as defense attorney, sometimes you just got to live with the facts, right? We're not going to be able to get around the fact that you flew Cassie, Jane, that you flew the men out for sex. We can't get around that. Now, last week, there was a motion for a new trial, and Diddy filed a motion to be acquitted based on the definition of prostitution. He basically was arguing that, judge, I know when I went to trial, and I argued that prostitution be defined as this, but then now I'm wrong. Prostitution should be defined this way. I never participated in the sex. This is what Diddy's argument was last week. I never participated in the sex. I never actually paid the prostitutes for the sex, right? I just actually was watching live porn. And that was his argument to the court. And so therefore he's saying that's not prostitution because I didn't financially benefit, I didn't pay for it, and I didn't participate. So I shouldn't be found guilty of this. And so you should acquit me. Well, the judge says, no, you're wrong. you transported Cassie and Jane sometimes for sex, and you transported the prostitutes, the male prostitutes, for sex. And at the end of the day, that's prostitution. They were paid for sex. It's prostitution. You can't change the definition. I'm not buying it. The conviction stands. And so that ruling came down yesterday, and he will be sentenced tomorrow. So you got to get punished, right? You're not going to just walk away with nothing. But is it 14 months enough that his attorneys are asking for, or does he deserve 11 years? Could you imagine getting 11 years in prison for flying out for mass? Because that's basically what we're talking about, right? Right? Because everybody that participated in the sex, it was consensual, right? There's not one time the Cassie talk about she's raped. Not one time did Jane say. I mean, isn't Jane actually still living in an apartment paid by Diddy? I think he's still giving her like $10,000 a month. So, um, it's kind of weird. So I definitely don't think he's getting 11 years. But the judge, he has other cases that are going to come up, right? There are going to be other people that are going to be prosecuted. You don't want to make it look like, oh, I'm just going to show favoritism to this person, but Daddy definitely doesn't deserve 11 years in prison. Shanika Young says the judge is definitely going to punish him. I definitely agree with that, right? Because he's never let him out on bond. And I feel like if the judge was only going to give him 14 months, that he would have given him bond this summer because he would have done pretty much all of the time. So I think did he just had a bond here? Did he have a bond here a few weeks ago? Yeah, like the judge is not letting him go. So I really it's gonna get some time. Let's see what y'all are saying. Tyler says they're gonna make an example out of him, unfortunately. And I'm gonna have to agree with you, Tyler. It's gonna be some type of example made. So we're just gonna see like how far it's going to be, like how far things are gonna go. Red Bunny says judge don't need to make an example for him. Diddy did a great job doing it himself. He did. Like he's only here because of his own actions. You are absolutely right. True Truth says how much he spent on all his attorneys. Uh, at least an M. Maybe a couple M's. He got a lot of attorneys. Like what is it? Nifolo. He's got Westmoreland, Steele, Garagos. He's got Shapiro. Whole team. And these aren't the first attorneys, right? He's had other attorneys as well that left, right? Remember, there was another female that left. There was a guy that left. Like there were some people that left right before the trial started, right? So he's had to pay those people. So a couple M's, I would think at least, yeah, probably a couple M's. But he got it. It was worth almost $1 billion when he got locked up. So he definitely has it. Exactly. Red Bunny says the judge seen all the evidence that we didn't see, right? Because there was some stuff that was redacted. There was some stuff that's filed under seal. There was something that was filed under seal like in the last couple of days. There was things that we're not privy to that the judge is, and you got to think about all of that. So I don't know what the judge is going to do, but it's going to be very interesting. So I was reading through some letters that were filed recently. So do y'all remember hearing anything about victim number 3? She wasn't, Cassie or Jane Doe, but it was Virginia. I don't know how to pronounce her last name. But Gina, basically. I don't know if y'all follow Tasha K or follow the little gossip blogs or whatever, but I remember hearing about Gina back in the day and the allegations that Diddy supposedly did to her. I think she was pregnant or something. Anyway, she has filed a letter on his behalf and says that she felt pressured to act as a victim. That when she would talk to the government, she would tell them kind of what was going on, and they would tell her that she was a victim, and she would try to say that she wasn't a victim, and then they would come back and try to make it seem like she was telling her that she actually was a victim. So she has written a letter on Diddy's behalf. It was kind of weird to read because I remember some of the allegations that came out about her, and I'm like, girl, you are a victim. Like, something wrong with you. But I don't know. Anyway, Miss Gina doesn't feel like a victim, so she's written a letter in support of Diddy. Justin's best friend, Shamoy Allen, wrote a letter that was filed yesterday and said that Diddy's been like a mentor to him. He has seen how he's been around his kids, around his family, and that Diddy is all about integrity, faith, and family. And that's what happens in every criminal case, right? The defendant is going to commit an act, but that one act does not define his entire life. And that's what we focus on as defense attorneys, right? We focus on all the other good things that you do and have going on because that is what we're able to present to the judge as mitigation to lessen your sentence. So that's what all of these letters are showing. So they're showing like a different side, because all the judge is seeing is him dragging Cassie down the hallway, beating her, heard about all the debauchery and all his freaky little sex stuff, but he hasn't heard of what kind of family man he is and how he's impacted other people's lives. So that's why it's really important for you to get character letters and all of that stuff. So he's got them pouring in, okay? He has them pouring in. The Justin's friend says he remembers the time during COVID when Diddy passed out supplies in Miami to people. He's always uplifting people. So these are things that the judge has to consider. A mother named Maribel Flacker, she wrote a letter on Diddy's behalf. Her son Raymond is actually locked up with Diddy, and so she talks about how she can see something different in her son ever since Diddy has been speaking to him. He's been mentoring him, encouraging him, trying to get him to have a different outlook on life. He now has positive outlook and knows the potential that he has within himself, and he's gotten into this program. So the mom is like, oh, he's a transformed person. So she has written a letter on his behalf. Their whole one quap. Okay, so I don't know y'all heard about this whole class that Diddy has, the free game with Diddy. So this guy is in that class, and so he wrote a letter in support and talks about how Diddy is teaching them about life, entrepreneurship, how he became successful, and he says that he saw Diddy work on this course like for a long time, that Diddy was reading books, taking notes, and actually writing out a course outline to teach them. And he says most times in the prison, and y'all know stuff is separated, right? It's like the Muslims, the Bloods, the Crips, it's the blacks, it's the Hispanics, it's this, but in this course, everyone race, gang, it doesn't matter. They're all signing up for Diddy's course and everybody's coming together and taking it. So like that is his claim to fame, if I could say, from his time in custody, is getting Diddy's claim to fame is getting sober, changing his life around, and developing this course that is now helping other people. Do y'all remember when T.I. went to prison in Atlanta a few years ago? Well, it was a long time ago when he got arrested on the way to the hip hop awards with a gun in the car. And y'all remember he had to do like 1,000 hours or 2,000 hours of community service. And his attorneys argued that he has a greater impact on people outside by going around and doing community service and teaching people and then going to jail. So that's basically the route that they're taking with Diddy. So he's developed this course, he's teaching them, they're getting benefits from it. And y'all, believe it or not, also, in Diddy's packet that he submitted, he has found an organization in Florida that is willing to work with him and allow him to come in and teach their inmates to stay out of prison. It's called Reentry One. I don't know if you can see. Okay, Reentry One. Reentry One has written a letter on Diddy's behalf, and they say that they have looked at his course and they are prepared to bring him into their like prison system, their correctional institution, and have Diddy teach these courses to their inmates. Y'all, the course, he has a list of courses, and when it's gonna start, the first course is on October 6th at 7 p.m. I was like, oh, okay. So Diddy think he gonna be home next week to do a class. But this is what you do. You show the judge that, judge, if you take a chance on me and you let me out, this is what I'm gonna be doing. So Diddy's like, hey, I got a class to teach. He's gonna be teaching a class at Miami North Work Release Center on October 6th at 7 p.m. Sprouting to Success. Like y'all, Diddy has developed this course. I don't know when he getting out. But whenever he gets out, expect this course to be a thing. So he has a letter from them. They want him to come teach. And he also has a letter. I made a joke about this because I don't know if y'all, how much y'all pay attention about this case, but y'all know like TD Jakes used to be like Diddy's spiritual advisor and all of that. Well, he stepped down and he got his own little stuff, whatever. Well, he's found, I guess, a new spiritual, people that he's working with, and they're also in Florida, and they have written a letter, and they are prepared to work with Diddy and kind of mentor him and help him, as well as they're going to work in basically together. So this is founder and national president of King Clergy, which is a civil rights and faith-based organization in Florida. So they have written a letter as well in support of Diddy, and they talk about how they'll help him and work with him and make sure that he's able to stay on track and stay sober through this. Oh, somebody else wrote a letter that I thought was really good. He has a friend named James McMillan, and he's a New York attorney, and they've been friends for over 25 years. He wrote a letter, and so basically in his letter, he says that when he was younger, he met Sean Combs when he was 23, and he actually had flunked out of law school, and Diddy was already kind of having an artist and having the record label and stuff, and so he kind of got him back on track to get motivated to go back to law school and become an attorney. He says that basically over time, what he's witnessed with Diddy is that he has a battle with substance abuse. I think a lot of that's coming out now that he's going ahead and admitting that, he has a substance abuse problem and he made poor choices, and that his addiction allowed his behavior to hurt others, and that basically he struggled with the excess that came with his success. So basically when you become really wealthy and successful and have all this money, you can just do whatever you want to do. And basically, he's saying Diddy just became victim to that and got caught up in that I can do whatever I want to do, doing his drugs, doing you know, getting caught up in his addictions, and basically just wound up hurting people. But he believes that he can overcome all of that if given the chance. So that was the only letter that really spoke to, it wasn't just a letter that was like all good, you know what I'm saying? It was a letter that addressed everything in one. So that was a really good letter from him. So I don't know. I definitely know it's not going to be 11 years. There's a lot of mitigation here. I mean, come on, the man act does not deserve 11 years. It'd be different if he got convicted of other things as well, but I definitely think 11 years will be a stretch. So I'm going to pull up Diddy's letter that he submitted to the judge today. Let me go to the comments and see what y'all talking about before we jump in and go back up and see what y'all were thinking. 5 to 7. Miss 86 Court says, I hope it's the 11 years. Oh, girl, don't let me get in trouble in your court. Okay. You want him to do the whole 11. I think that's crazy. And Two Truth says 5 years, still too much. Red Bunny says 11 years is crazy. He needs 20. Well, and you're feeling that way, right? Because we also heard that Diddy blew up a car, blew up Kid Cudi's car when he was dating Cassie. You heard things that occurred that he wasn't convicted of. And so some people, yeah, and the judge is the same way, right? He heard those same things. So maybe he feels that way. Red Bunny says the judge don't need to make an example. Yep, we talked about that. K. Joseph says time served is enough. This is abuse of government power. And it shows you how it is, though. It shows you how they can be. Because this is how we are so far apart. So the Mann Act itself carries a sentencing level. And so that's the difference between state court and federal court. In state court, let's say armed robbery. In Georgia, it's a mandatory 10 to 20. All right, so the judge just has between 10 and 20 to come. You get convicted, he can sentence you. In federal court, it's what's called sentencing guidelines. So while I might want to sentence you to 2 years, I may not be able to if your guideline, your leveling puts you at a certain place. So the Mann Act convictions that Diddy has puts him at a baseline level of 14. His attorneys say because it's his first arrest, first conviction, he should stay there at a 14. And that level 14 is a level that can be probated, and they're asking for 14 months. He's already done 12 in a couple of weeks or a week. All right, well, the government says, yes, he starts with a baseline of 14. However, we want to add to this leveling for reasons and for testimony that came out at trial. So one thing they were trying to raise it for was the physical violence that came out. That they wanted to raise it, a couple of reasons for that. They also wanted to raise it a couple of levels because Cassie was technically an employee of Bad Boy at the time that all of this was going on. And so she was a vulnerable victim. So they want to add a couple of points for that. So now we're like 18. They want to add another couple of points for accusations of like obstruction or something that Diddy did. But now, mind you, he was not convicted of that. But testimony that came out of court, they're trying to use, and they want the judge to use it to raise his leveling. So I believe when I last checked, I think the government is either sitting at a level of 22 or 24, and that's how they're getting to the 11 years. So the first part the judge has to decide is what all am I adding to the level to determine where Diddy is, because that's going to tell us where the sentence is. So if he's at a level 14, there's no way a level 14 can be sentenced to 11 years. So that's the first thing with federal is where is he going to be leveled? And then the second part is once we get to the level, what's the bracket and where am I going to put you in this bracket? So that's why I'm thinking it'll probably be, I think somewhere like a level 16. And then I'm thinking 5 years total for the charges, but you shall see. We shall see. Um, let's see. Yeah, Red Bunny said he said all that last week. Now today he wants to write a letter, acting like he's sorry. Well, that's how it is now. You fight, fight, fight up until you can't fight anymore, and then you acquiesce, and I'm like, okay, all right, Judge. Well, I'm sorry. My arguments didn't work, but now I got to deal with what's happening. So yes, that's normal. You fight, 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 and then when your fights don't work, and you got to take this sentence, and now let me write you this letter and tell you I'm remorseful. So I know how it kind of feels, but that's how it happens all the time. Um, So Truth says, seems like it came up that Diddy never himself orchestrated the transportation of the sex worker, or he wasn't the person that actually paid him. No, he did transport. He actually did do the transportation. That is proven. That the judge speaks to that in the order. But you are right. He did not pay, and that's what he was trying to argue. Is I was never the one that actually gave the money, so therefore I didn't participate in prostitution. But the judge says I ain't buying it. Nope, not gonna buy that argument. But he definitely did transport, and that came up in the hearing as well. Like that came out that he definitely because he transported. Not only did he pay occasionally to transport the men escorts, but he sometimes flew Cassie and sometimes flew Jane places so that they could participate in sex. So he definitely did transport. But his argument was, I didn't participate in the sex act and I didn't pay. So, and I didn't benefit financially. So therefore I shouldn't, it's not prostitution, but judge says whatever it is. Uh yeah, Stu True says a few million. Yeah, definitely. I think definitely 2 million. Definitely. Uh no, they aren't. Not that's not something the judge can see. They probably were recorded when for them, for the government to have so that they could do trial prep. But no, it's probably not anything that was presented. Hi, Alchemy in the house. Thank you, number one supporter. Shout out to Alchemy. She blessed me with her beautiful Airbnb in Atlanta for my birthday weekend. It was amazing. So if y'all ever in Atlanta and you need to rent an Airbnb, go check out her property. Amazing. Was it 77 Ormond, I believe? Oh my God. Amazing. So thank you. Shout out Alchemy. Glad you could make it in. Um Shakisha said yes, but T.I. was only transporting pow pows. Right. He was. And Diddy was transporting no. Okay. So yeah, yep. But look, neither acts, hurt anyone, not what he was convicted of. So, we'll see. Um, yes. Shanika says that's good. He seems to be on a positive path. Yeah, he definitely does. I mean, one, he's been locked up now for over a year, so he is not doesn't have access to the drugs and the alcohol and the Ciroc and the tequila and all that stuff like he had. So he hasn't been partying it up, right? So he's sober now. So it makes you think differently. It makes you have different you move differently. Like he is definitely a changed person. Plus, remember, he was fighting for his life. So not from the time he got locked up last September up until July 2nd, when the jury found him not guilty of the RICO, that's why he fell to his knees because he was literally fighting for his life. Had he been convicted of RICO, he'd been going to prison for the rest of his life, and it would be nothing that anybody could do or argue, say, or anything like that. Yes, he does need a therapist. that specializes in personality traits. Interesting. Okay, so you think he has multiple personalities? Now look, that's not my wheelhouse. Michael Love, good evening. Thanks for being here. All right. Let's all I see you all thinking some people think he should have a lot of time. Some of y'all think he should get out. Some of y'all thinking 5 to 7, just like me. So let's go see what Diddy um says to the judge. Can the judge fine? Oh yeah, he can. Most of these will include some type of fine. So that stuff can be set by the court if he chooses to do so. All right, so I'm gonna pull up, and so I'm not at home, right? So y'all won't see the letter, but the letter on this other screen over here. Okay. So letters dated October 2nd. He says, "Dear Judge Subramanian, I hope this letter finds you well and in good health and spirits. Thank you for the opportunity to express my thoughts to you. First and foremost, I want to apologize and say how sincerely sorry I am for all of the hurt and pain that I have caused others by my conduct. I take full responsibility and accountability for my past wrongs. This has been the hardest 2 years of my life, and I have no one to blame for my current reality and situation but myself. In my life, I have made many mistakes, but I am no longer running from them. I am so sorry for the hurt that I have caused, but I understand that the mere words, I'm sorry, will never be good enough, as these words alone cannot erase the pain from the past. Over the past 13 months, I have had to look in the mirror like never before. My pain became my teacher. My sadness was my motivator. I have to admit, my downfall was rooted in my selfishness. The scene and images of me assaulting Cassie play over and over in my head daily. I literally lost my mind. I was dead wrong for putting my hands on the woman that I loved. I'm sorry for that and always will be. My domestic violence will always be a heavy burden that I will have to forever carry. The remorse, the sorrow, the regrets, the disappointment, the shame. I honestly feel sorry for something that I couldn't forgive someone else for if they put their hands on one of my daughters. This is why it is so hard for me to forgive myself. It is like a deep wound that leaves an ugly scar. Your Honor, I thought I was providing for Jane concerning her and her child, but after hearing her testimony, I realized that I hurt her. For this, I am deeply sorry. I lost my way. I got lost in my journey, lost in the drugs and the excess. My downfall was rooted in my selfishness. I have been humbled and broken to my core. Jail is designed to break you mentally, physically, and spiritually. Over the past year, there have been so many times that I wanted to give up. There have been some days that I thought I would be better off dead. The old me died in jail, and a new version of me was reborn. Prison will change you or kill you. I choose to live. Oh, Diddy! That's page one. That's page one. I got chills. I got motherfucking chills. What? Woo! Tanika Young says, "Oh, he is taking accountability." Yeah, he is. Oh my goodness. Y'all, that's page one. That's page one. Okay. All right, let me dive back in. Okay, Diddy. Every day since my incarceration, as difficult as my circumstances currently are, I have made the best of my time by reading books, writing, working out, or in therapy, obtaining the tools and knowledge to deal with my past drug abuse and anger issues. I have been putting in the work and working diligently to become the best version of myself to ensure that I never make the same mistakes again. I realize that I am in a situation where no amount of money, power, or fame can save me. Only God can save me. My grandmother used to teach me that God makes no mistakes and that everything he does is for your good. I believe that a bad situation can be used for good. Although this situation has been the hardest and darkest time in my life, good things have come out of my incarceration. For starters, I am now sober for the first time in 25 years. I'm gonna pause. Wow. 25 years. Wow. That is something. He really, yes, Too True says this dude really did his homework. Um, hey, Fearless Queer 21. Come on, give it to us. I'm about to pour a double glass of Chardonnay, so this not be 45 minutes straight. Long, strong, and fit. You want me that long stroking like Lee, huh? She said long stroking. Girl, this letter. Oh my God. Okay, let me dive back in. I have been trying my best to deal with my drug abuse and anger issues and take accountability as well as positive steps towards healing. One of the most beautiful things I have experienced is being asked by my fellow inmates to teach and mentor them. They wanted to learn what I did to become a successful businessman. I was inspired by their hunger and desire to learn information in order to not only set goals, but achieve any goal dream that their hearts desired. I started teaching a 6-week program called Free Game, title given by the fellow inmate, which I was able to have approved and sanctioned by the Bureau of Prisons. Y'all hear me now? He didn't just talking about a water cooler. He didn't got this class approved and sanctioned by the Bureau. I don't just teach about my success, I also teach about my mistakes and failures. It has truly been a blessing to do something positive in a negative situation. It has been beautiful to see the newfound hope in my fellow inmates' eyes. The most shocking thing was to see the unity and the peace this class has produced. As you are probably aware, jails and prisons are segregated places. However, in our class, we have Black, Spanish, white, and Asian all together in one room, learning and working together. We even have an interpreter for the Spanish speaking inmates. The biggest miracle that I've seen with this class is all of the games, such as Bloods, Crips, MS-13, Trinitarios, never heard that, in 18th Streets, in one room working together. I am also proud to say that since this class started, there have been no fights in our unit. This class has also helped me in my time of need and despair. Being able to do something good for others has also given me much needed hope. God bless me with this opportunity to help others, and I will continue to do so. Oh, Cash App info. It's in the banner under my name. Y'all, Diddy got me about to tear up. Ow, this is touching. He been in there. Oh, look, Fearless got me back on track. She was like, "Don't fall for it, sis. Don't fall for it." Diddy is a master manipulator. Fry Diddy. Y'all ain't right. Y'all ain't shit. This man pouring out his heart, pouring it out. I was touched. I'm touched a little bit. Let me go back to the letter. Y'all ain't moved. All right. I ask you for mercy today, not only for my sake, but for the sake of my children. God bless me with 7 beautiful children, 3 sons and 4 daughters. Their names are Quincy, Justin, Christian, Chance, Jesse, Delia, and the newest addition, a 2-year-old daughter, Love. 4 of my children lost their mother, Kim Porter, as she tragically passed away in 2018. I am their only parent. I have failed my children as a father. My father was murdered when I was 3 years old, so I know firsthand what it is to not have a father. More than anything, I just want the opportunity to return home and be the father that they need and deserve. God also blessed me with the greatest mother in the world. My mother sacrificed her life and dreams to provide for me and my younger sister, Keisha. She worked 3 jobs to make sure we had a roof over our heads, clothes on our backs, and the best education. My mother is now 84 years old and she recently had brain surgery. Despite her own health challenges, she attended my trial every day. I have always been her primary caregiver. It breaks my heart that I put myself in this situation, and for the first time, I am unable to be there for my mother when she needs me most. As I write you this letter, I am scared to death, scared to spend another second away from my mother and my children. I no longer care about the money or the fame. There is nothing more important to me than my family. I ain't even through yet, y'all. This is like his moment of reckoning, right? He hit rock bottom. And sometimes you get there in life before you realize you need to turn over. Like, can you imagine? And like him talking about his mom just reminds me of Muktum, right? Because if you all remember from the YSL trial, that's why he took a plea. His mom was sick at the time. He just wanted to get out and be home. So he took the plea that ended up, y'all know the story, but that's so many people's story. He is now locked up and his mom had brain surgery. That is serious. And he couldn't even be there, all because of his actions. He realizes that he put himself there. Whew. And he says he no longer cares about the money or the fame. $1 billion no longer cares about because it doesn't matter. I understand that one factor the court has to consider is deterrence. Deterrence for me and for others to ensure that no one follows in my footsteps and makes the same mistakes. For over a year, I have been locked in one room with 25 other incarcerated people, sharing the same one room. In this room that I share, there are no windows, there is no natural clean air, there is no sunlight, and we all live in one room. He keep on that one room, baby. That one, and that's why my ass ain't never went to motherfucking jail, okay? Because I can't ride in a car without a sunroof. No, I ain't finna sit in no damn jail cell and look at no four walls. You hear me? It ain't no joke. It is not a joke. It ain't no joke. Let me get back. Woo! One room. Mm, mm, mm. He said we eat, sleep, use the toilet, take showers, and prepare meals all in the same room. The conditions that my actions have placed me in are inhumane. I don't tell you this for pity or sympathy. I'm simply sharing my truth and the truth of my fellow incarcerated people. We have no clean drinking water and we boil our drinking water. How do they boil water in with? I don't know. Anyway, they end up boiling water. We all share one washing machine, which is broken. I am surrounded by drugs and live every day with the constant threat of being stabbed or losing my life. Again, I am not expecting pity or sympathy, but my time at MDC has changed me forever, and I know it has. I know this man went from renting the entire floor of the Trump Towers. When Diddy traveled, because remember when we saw the Cassie video, I kept saying, damn, ain't nobody come out there and try to save her. It wasn't anybody because he rented the entire floor. Look how God brought that ass down from the entire floor of a hotel to now you got to eat, sleep, shit, wash your clothes, cook in the same room with 25 other niggas. Humbling. Humbling. All right. Prior to being in jail, I took care of and was present for my family. Being in jail and because of my conduct, I lost the ability to care for my mother. I lost the ability to effectively raise and support my children. I have missed my 3 daughters' proms and graduation. I have missed taking one of my daughters to college. I have lost the freedom to teach my 2-year-old how to speak, dance, play, or be there to console her when she falls down or has a nightmare. I started from nothing and worked hard to earn everything I had. But because of my conduct, I have lost all of my businesses. I have lost my career. I lost the charter schools that I started, and I have destroyed my reputation and stained the reputation of those that worked for me. I lost my being present with my family. Between all my losses and lessons, I can state for a fact that I will never be in another criminal courtroom again. And I do not believe any other person would do anything similar from fear or similar punishment. Basically, he like, my homeboys ain't flying out no holes. We done. We done. We done, Judge. No more sex parties. No more flying out ass. None of that. We understand. My peoples, my peers, we get it. Done. He's like, we done. He says, if you give me a chance, I would like the opportunity to share my story with people to prevent at least one person from making the mistakes that I've made. 2 more paragraphs. I can't change the past, but I can change the future. I know that God put me here to transform me. Since incarceration, I have gone through a spiritual reset. I'm on a journey that will take time and hard work. I'm proud to say I'm working harder than I ever have before. I'm committed to the journey of remaining a drug free, non-violent, and peaceful person. I thank God that I'm stronger, wiser, clean, clear, and sober. God makes no mistakes. I realize that this trial has received a tremendous amount of global press, and Your Honor may be inclined to make an example out of me. I would ask Your Honor to make me an example of what a person can do if afforded a second chance. If you allow me to go home to my family, I promise I will not let you down and I will make you proud. Today, I humbly ask you for another chance to be a better father, another chance to be a better son, another chance to be a better leader in my community, and another chance to live a better life. I am writing this not to gain any sympathy or pity. This experience is simply the truth of my existence and has changed my life forever, and I will never commit a crime again. Thank you for your time and consideration. Whew! You talk about lay it all on the line. That nigga put it in now. Didn't it? Woo! Boy, like, Fearless Queer 21 ain't buying it. She said, come on, don't be fooled by page 1. You know damn well A1 or Brian still wrote that shit. Diddy needs to remain in jail for the max period of time for what he did to Cassie alone. And guess what? Some people feel that way. The judge could feel that way. Y'all remember all the things the judge was saying at the bond hearings, right? After he got found guilty, he said he wouldn't even let him out. He said he was a danger to the community. He said victims were writing letters saying they were fearful if he got out, what he would do to them. Ooh, I don't know, y'all. I don't know. Yeah, I do agree with you, too true. That's Diddy's to call. I know you mean true calling. Teaching others how to be successful. Yeah. Isn't that something? Like that class is not gonna be the end of it, no matter what happens. It's gonna go from the prison system. It's gonna be something that's probably gonna be implemented in colleges. I mean, like he says, everything happens for a reason. Um Oh, okay. How do I do it? Okay, so the Cash App is here. It's at the top. Y'all see it running on this thing, the ticker. It's on the ticker that's going across. So it says Cash App is the Fit Lawyer ATL. So let me know if that's easy, Fearless. I don't know where else to put it. I guess I could pin it in the chat or something, but it's going across mod. If somebody could pin it or put it up, and then when I see the comment, I can pin it. Simply Style says, who wrote that letter for him? TD Jakes. Y'all did it. Look now, the man worth $1 million. The man goes into meetings and runs a business. He went to Howard. HU. He went to Howard. The man is college educated now. This ain't like, I was about to say something. I ain't gonna call nobody out. I was about to say somebody else's name. This ain't like Woody. We talking about Woody wrote it. Y'all know. Did it, you know, did it right. Andre says he should have you read his letter to the judge. I know, right? I was over here getting myself all emotional, like, damn, I'm about to tear up. Like, whoo, Jesus, he should. I need to get paid to do that. Fearless Queer 21 says you're a bleeding heart, Fit. Love you. I am. That's why I was a public defender for 8 years. Oh my God, I am such a bleeding heart. I am. I sure am. Too true. No, jail can change you. It sure can. Y'all, this man went from mansions, Star Islands, a house in the Hamptons, here and here. Like, come on, like that definitely changes you going to jail. Definitely. Tarika says, as an artist, he writes, so that letter was probably easy for him. Y'all, I mean, I hear what you're saying, right? I get it. But the writing a letter, like being locked up and stuff, it really does change you. Like, y'all have no idea. I was a public defender and I used to go to the jails every day. And I was so thankful and grateful that I could take my ass home when it was over with, because it's different. It definitely would change you. Like, I definitely don't think this letter is just a piece of shit. Like, he's in there with drugs, so he does have the option, but y'all, they're drug testing him. They are drug testing him. And so his medical records and everything are for the court. So the judge would know if he's testing positive. So he's being drug tested. So he's sober and clean. Someone, what is this? The incomplete. Take a lot to take the test. What all that got to do with the price of butter and the tea in China? When one sell their soul, can one buy it back? Can you? If you can, he sure paid the ultimate price. He's paid time and his life. He said all his business is gone. Remember, he lost endorsements. Like, everything's gone. If he gets like that, start over. Now he got some money left, but he still got to start over. So I don't know, y'all. I think Diddy can be a positive impact on people. Too true. Yeah, me too. And that's what his attorneys are going to play up. So that is what the play is going to be, is to show that he can have a greater impact outside of prison. The year, 2 months that he has done, they're saying, Judge, look, it's enough. He doesn't deserve any more, but he does deserve more time. So let's put him on probation so that he can go out and be a positive impact to society. Mind you, class, I told y'all the class schedule now, October 7th is the first class. So they didn't really go get to work. I wonder if the judge is going to buy it. We're going to see. I still got 5 on it. Even with the letter, I got 5 on it. Because he ain't just going to go home. Because I just feel like if the judge had the opinion to just send him home, I think he would have given him bond this summer, or just think he would have just been behaving differently or speaking differently about the case. And not one time has the judge ever spoken about, anything positive, or saying, like, I feel like he's a changed man. I mean, he even spoke about not seeing remorse. So let's see. And I cannot wait to see what this 15-minute video is going to be like tomorrow. What is that going to be like? I have no clue. So, yeah, Too True says, shit, I changed my life too instead of being in jail. I'm telling you, jail will change you. It definitely will. It definitely will. All right, so was anybody's mind changed from the letter? Did anybody feel like, ooh, oh, wait, a key? And now you like, I can see some probation in time. Anybody? We're gonna see. All right, so my line sitter is demanding that I come take his place and get my ass in line at 6:30 a.m. So I will be back live in the morning before court starts to kind of see what's going on, see what's been filed. Yes, I like this. Pull it up. Bad Sinoki. Girl, forgive me now. The screen little and a lot of letters. Bad sin no Noka. Okay. Forgive me. Everyone has the ability to change. To not allow others the chance to do so is the devil's work. And if you've never been to jail or prison, you have no idea how life altering that can be. I definitely agree. Doing criminal defense for 20 years, I definitely agree. It definitely can change you. So let's see if it's going to work on the judge. He has all night to. He's read this letter. He's read the support letters from everyone else. I think Young Miami even wrote a support letter. I got to pull that up tonight so I can see what Carisha said in her letter. I wonder, is she coming? Who y'all think gonna be there tomorrow? Up, Sexy and Complete says, "Cry me a river." Fearless Queer 21 says, "No, throw away the key." Oh, I don't know, y'all. We gonna see. We gonna see. We gonna see. So Fit will be down there. I'll be, like I said, I get in line at 6:30 a.m. So probably somewhere like around 7-ish or 7:30 or so, 8 o'clock. Probably strike it up and go live and give y'all like all the tea I can. So I cannot bring any electronics into the courtroom. I'm gonna have to put my stuff in the locker. But anytime we come out, it starts at 10. I don't know if it's gonna run like from 10 to 2 or if it's gonna be a lunch break or whatever. But if there's a break after we start, I will run out, grab my stuff, and jump on live and update you. At the end of it, when it's sentencing, I'm gonna be jumping over people, breaking my neck to get back out to the sidewalk so I can be the first to tell you what happened. So make sure you turn your notifications on, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. I will be down the street at the Southern District of New York tomorrow morning and inside the courtroom for the hearing, not in the overflow room. It got a spot inside the courtroom. So I cannot wait to bring you all the decision tomorrow. So make sure you stay tuned and we will see. Sexy and Complete say Diddy strong enough to do 10 years. Oh, it's a long time. 5 is a long time. Okay. Anything a day is a long time. But we're gonna see. So y'all be sure to like, share, and subscribe. I will be live several times tomorrow. Can't take anything into the courtroom, but anytime I can come out, I'll be bringing you all the information. And we will be going live tomorrow evening too and talking about it. So I'll see you all later. Make sure you turn everything on. I'll see you in court. Good night.